we were getting maybe 1 or 2 meetings a week, but like that's, like over the course of 3 weeks, we took maybe 6 to 10 meetings.
So we weren't able to really close anybody. So for those 3 weeks, it was kind of rough.
How much are you guys at right now?
Within the last 3 weeks, getting consistent meetings, we closed 7 clients for a total of like $7,000.
Yeah, we closed like 4 clients in one day. Made like $4,000 in like less than 24 hours. That was the most we had ever made online in that period of time, like ever.
All right, so guys, I'm here with Sam and Evan. We were able to scale their agency from 0 to 7K within a 60-day period. At the start, they were actually failing with a different niche that we'll go into after for about like 3 weeks. And then now they're at 7K within a 60-day period. So yeah, let's hop into it. So guys, how's it been going? How's it been working with me? Kind of tell them, how's my mentorship?
Yeah, I mean, everything's been great when working with you. I actually had texted you a while before, like when we first started, and then we ended up trying ourselves for like 3 months, but we kind of failed during that time. We were just kind of in the floor space, like floor installation, and we just kept failing. I told Evan about you. And at first he was like, no, we don't need like a mentorship. We don't we're good. I was like, all right. But then we actually ended up almost doing another mentorship that would like cost like $10,000. But we decided to kind of go with you instead, because not only was it cheaper, but like you felt more like it would be like personalized, like one-on-one kind of thing. So we made the jump, and yeah, it's been going great now.
And you were gonna join a course, right? Like a course type of thing, not really like a one-on-one, right?
Yeah, it was like a program, I guess. They had like people for certain things, but it wasn't like nothing like one-on-one or personalized.
Yeah, it was like a course where they would give us kind of like daily tasks, and then you had like, a weekly call with the agency owner. But if you needed anything else during the week, you kind of talked to a quote unquote like a coach. But yeah, it definitely wouldn't have been as personalized. It was a lot of clauses for them. Like they were kind of like, you have to do this, and that, and then move on to this. It was very specific. It wasn't really like kind of like, hey, what do you guys want to do? How's this going to work for you in your life? It was just like, follow our plan or else it's not going to work. And like, that was kind of very off-putting.
Some bullshit, basically.
Basic, probably, yes.
Kind of explain to them your first 3 weeks and then go into like now, right? Then after like the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, so the first 3 weeks, we ended up kind of deciding to do roofing, only because with flooring, it wasn't like a proven market. So we decided to go into a proven market, which was roofing. The only issue that we had was that it was super oversaturated and it was really expensive to get leads. For the budget that we had, we weren't getting enough leads. And we also were super unexperienced with sales and just marketing, just the whole process in general. So we weren't able to really close anybody. So for those 3 weeks, it was kind of rough.
I definitely agree. Those 3 weeks were, we'd get a couple meetings here and there, but, we weren't really, like you said, we weren't really that good at sales. So you kind of get them on the call, you're pitching them on a, $2,500 paying full for 3 months. And they're kind of like, let me think about it. And you're, not being experienced in sales and objection handling, you're just kind of like, okay. And then they never get back to you. So,
and I also remember, like, of course, correct me if I'm wrong, Evan, and then Sam, is throughout those 3 weeks, we were kind of like, I was kind of guiding you guys on how to close, right? But we didn't have like a full-on sales training. Those first 3 weeks, we didn't dial in on sales. And that was really like the main bottleneck, I would say. Right? It wasn't really like generating the leads. It wasn't really like, okay, getting them on meetings and stuff. Yes, sometimes, but it was more just like on the call itself, actually closing the deal. And I vividly remember, like, I was still in France at that stage, and like, where we had like a 2.5 hour call, I think it was. I'm not even sure how long the call was, but we just went over sales, and then the rest is history, basically.
Because it kind of was an issue with leads. I think we didn't really go over sales in the first 3 weeks, purely because we weren't getting enough meetings for it to really matter. Like we were getting maybe 1 or 2 meetings a week, but like that's, like over the course of 3 weeks, we took maybe 6 to 10 meetings. Like even if your close rate's 10-20%, good, like if you're a good closer, we weren't closing any of them. Yeah, we had that long 2.5 hour call where we kind of said, hey, we're not sure if this is working. Do you think we should switch niche? And then you kind of guided us and said, hey, there's this niche that I did when I first started. It's a really cheap cost per lead. You'll get a lot of leads, you'll get a lot of meetings. So we were like, all right, like let's try it, just get a lower CPL, see if we can get more meetings. Obviously, you know, it's a statistics game. So you're like, let's get more meetings, get more closes, and just get better. You know, the more meetings we take, the better we'll get to sales, so on and so forth. And then yeah, we decided to switch. I mean, yeah, that was the best decision we ever made.
How much are you guys at right now? And what are you guys doing right now to scale past 10K, maybe 20K in the near future? Like break it down.
Within the last 3 weeks of us like getting consistent meetings, we closed 7 clients for a total of like 7 grand in like 3 weeks. So we're like 3 away from the 10K mark, which is kind of crazy. Like literally, like we started in February, so it's been like a long journey of not really making any money, maybe a couple $100 here and there, but out of nowhere, 3 weeks, just with like your help and like kind of everything that you've done, we just hit 7K like out of nowhere. So
yeah, it's
pretty
wild.
crazy.
It's wild for sure. Like yeah, so kind of obviously the way that we handle things is that Sam is the back end guy. He does all the onboarding, the ad management, that kind of stuff, and then I'm the people person, the sales guy, basically. So there was that one day like 2 weeks ago where it was like a Thursday, and I actually called out of work because we had like 8 meetings that day. So I was like, I can't go into work. And I called out.
What?
Best decision I ever made was to call out that day. Yeah, I remember literally talking to Sam at the end of the day and being like, man, I could have went into work today. But yeah. Anyway, I called out. Yeah, we closed like 4 clients in one day. Made like 4 grand in like less than 24 hours. That was the most we had ever made online in that period of time, like ever.
One day people get paid that, not even for working a job 40 hours a week, every day, in, out, waking up, shit like that, right? So you made literally what people make within a whole entire month or even more.
Yeah, in like a 24-hour period. Yeah.
You guys want to kind of like share what you're going to do now to go to the next step? Like what's kind of you guys' goals with the agency, next steps in your life as well?
Yeah, that's I think the next steps are really just kind of dialing in like all the systems and making sure we could retain the clients that we've gotten. That's like the biggest thing. So we've been really just trying to figure out and create systems to kind of help them optimize to get the leads to actually convert. And then we're also need to kind of dial in the appointment setting. It's just a numbers game. So the more appointments you get, the more sales meetings, the more you can close. So, but now that we understand the process and how everything works, like it's just kind of just doing more of it in volume and everything will grow.
It's a volume game now. You have the fundamentals, you know what you're doing, right? Like made 7K in a month. How do you make 14? It's just by doubling it. And it's a doubles game in any business, you know. It's just like you close 7K, now you close 14, and you double 14, you know, you're at 28, and then you double 28, and that's just how you scale, right? The sky's the limit with it. I really like working with Sam and Evan, probably one of my favorite ones, just because our conversation is always cool. It's not always SMMA, it's about a whole bunch of different shit. I think you guys can hit 20K very fast. I know you guys are going on a trip.
When we get back, we'll probably just up it to 100. So yeah, we'll probably just up the ad spend, get more leads and get more meetings, get more closes that way. So me and Sam were talking with Sam's dad, and Sam's dad was kind of asking us like, so what is your guy like say like for the whole year, like what is your guys's, you know, goal for like the business? And we were like, oh, we kind of like to be making like, you know, 10K. Probably like a month ago, if you would have told us that 10K by the end of the year, we would have been like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. But then all of a sudden we hit 7K, and now we're like, actually, we could do this, because, you know, including the people that you retain plus new signs over the next, you know, September, October, November, December, we can hit 10K by the end of the year.
99% of people, probably even 100%, it's just limiting belief. Like I know
100%.
Like, you guys at the start, right? Even like you just said, if I spoke to you guys about 2 months ago, so 60 days ago today, it would have been like, yeah, okay, 10K, like it's realistic, but let's do like 3, maybe 4K. You know what I mean? Like let's keep it like humble, let's be easy. But now you see it. Once you get like a taste, like just one close, right? It doesn't have to be a 5K, 10K close, just a 1K close, or even like a $500 up front. Now it's proven. And now like your hunger is there. And I remember like you closed your first deal and you texted me and you're like, oh, this shit's real. Like I can collect on call. I can collect payments on the actual sales call.
Yeah.
And then once you see it, bro, it's a different world.
Yeah, because I remember having a conversation with you about kind of like, man, like I'm having these meetings, but like people just aren't paying on the call. Like they're telling me like, oh, I'll pay later, this and that. I was like, I don't really know. Like I wasn't believing that somebody
Yeah.
would pay kind of like on the call. And you were like, nah, like they will. It's just that, you know, it just is, you're just gonna have to find them. And then all of a sudden, like now it's like, bro, I'm like on the sales calls now. It's like I'm so confident now in every sales call that I do, that like even if the people are kind of like, oh, this and that, and I objection handle all the way through to the end, try and get a deposit, whatever, yada yada. If they don't pay at that point, I'm kind of just like, all right, you know, like it doesn't matter because you weren't gonna pay either way, so I'll just move on to the next guy.
I mean, you tried everything. Like fuck it, like it's lost anyways. You tried, but people will only know that if you've actually like done that many sales calls. Like
Right.
maybe someone listening to this right now, they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, they're chatting a bunch of shit, but if you really get into sales and you're objection handling like every single objection over and over and over again, and they still don't put a deposit, you're kind of like, all right, cool, you know. And a lot of people want to close people in follow-ups. And I know that's what we spoke about. I was like, no, close one call close. Like there's nothing better than one call close. Like the guy's ready to buy. The guy, if he doesn't put down a deposit and he gives you a I think about it, 99% he's not paying. Well, thanks guys for giving me a nice word as well. Appreciate it. And yeah, that's about it from my end. Any last words?
I would say that like any advice to someone who's just starting out is just kind of do it like as much as possible, or find someone that does know what to do, like Kieran.
Yeah.
Just because they're gonna help you like succeed so much faster. Like we succeeded 60 days so much more than we did on our own for like 5 months. So just find someone who knows what they're doing, learn from them, get the reps in, take as many sales calls, get better at that, take as many appointments, as much as possible, get better at that. One day it'll all click together and just kind of start working.
Yeah, definitely. Like to the people that are like, you know, like us that are, you know, 22, you know, young entrepreneurs that are wanting to, you know, kind of do something with themselves and not have to work the 9 to 5. It's not easy. That's for sure. You know, all these people, these gurus that you see on Instagram and YouTube, they kind of make it where it's like, oh, you know, you could make 10K in your first month, this and that. And it's like, you could, don't get me wrong. There are people out there that get lucky and they do it. But yeah, you're gonna have to put in work. It's not something that you're gonna be able to do for an hour or two a day. I mean, me and Sam do this stuff from the time we wake up until the time we go to sleep every single day. Like there's not a single day, that 7 days a week, every single day, like the whole time. So it's definitely work, but I think that it's definitely worth it. Once you hit that, your first closes. I mean, God, that week where we made like $6,000 in a week, like we were over the moon as far as like, oh my God, like it's working, it paid off, like we could actually do this. So like, yeah, I mean, just stick to it, I guess. Like just grind it out. And like Sam said, there was a point where we were thinking about, hey, should we run ads for ourselves? Should we do this? Should we do that? If you're at the beginning and you don't really have the processes dialed in, I think the best thing is to find a mentor to help you get those processes dialed in before you really start putting money directly into ads or outreach or anything like that. Really get your processes dialed in, have somebody that can help you, and then they'll also help you get the paid ads, the so on and so forth, just like you did with us. So
just finding yourself a mentor, and it's biased towards me, of course. You know, of course it's biased towards me. But it's like, it's true. I found myself a mentor. People find themselves a mentor. People making millions find themselves billionaire mentors. You know, it's a natural thing to do. Just, okay, instead of wasting all your money and time and months on figuring it out, pay someone, you know, yeah, okay, it hurts a little bit. Pay him, he helps you. You scale within 2, 3 months, 4 months, faster than you would the whole entire year, and you make that money back tenfold, you know?
yeah.
And yeah, of course, it's biased towards myself, you know, but it's like, it is true. I found myself a mentor, and I still look to this day to find myself mentors, you know, just to teach me more, you know, and that's just how the game is played. So,
yeah. Other courses where it's like you get in and it's a course, you talk to coaches and stuff like that. There's definitely not that personal connection as the way that we have with you. So
yeah, we're friends now. It's like it, and I tell everyone who joins me, I'm like, you'll see after 90 days, like I'm probably not even your mentor anymore. Like we are homies. Like we're gonna plan trips, go do some fun shit. I don't know what we're gonna do, but yeah, yeah, it's just cool. It's cool to
Yeah.
have that aspect and yeah, just run it up, I guess.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. Like I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited for the rest of the year. That's for sure.
Me too. Well, thank you, Sam and Evan. And then yeah, peace out, boys. Bye bye.